The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding.
This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture. Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
Yeah.
What up?
How you doing today?
I'm good. No, my butt just got pinched on this for some reason. It just went like that.
Not
so
a booty pinch.
Yeah, not you.
Not a booty pinch. I ain't do it.
What?
That's mad.
You just took it too. A whole nother. Yeah.
So what we discussing today?
Today we're talking about education versus indoctrination.
I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ish.
And this is Culture Currency.
What culture
is the value. Per usual.
Yes.
We start off with our definitions. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to define indoctrination, and then I'm going to define education.
Okay.
Indoctrination is the process of teaching someone to accept a specific set of beliefs, ideology, or opinions uncritically. Mm-hmm. So uncritically.
Mm-hmm. Indoctrination
is
showing so
all
illy.
Over the place.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing I meant to write down that I didn't want to forget about. That was on the old cards about the history of indoctrination and how like effective it's been through history, especially politically. Mm-hmm. And when we think of people like Hitler and North Korea, religion. There's so many areas where indoctrination is just, and then I'm thinking about the worldwide hate for blacks and gays is because of indoctrination. You know what I mean? There's not even based in fact. There's just been repeated information and images where people will believe a certain thing about us as a people.
Absolutely. When I read that definition, it just made me think of the fact that we had a discussion about critical thinking and the lack thereof, how much it lacks in today.
Yeah.
And that's a result of.
Yeah. Because whenever something is created, the folks who create it, they're thinking 100 years down the line. You know what I mean? So part of like social media was made for indoctrination.
Absolutely.
Because it's like
systemic.
It's systemic because it's the easiest, widespread, entertaining vehicle for information. You know what I'm saying?
And then they also did the research on how the dopamine hits and all of that. So they knew exactly what they were doing, how this was going to translate with the world.
Yep. And then first it was like, oh, Facebook, let's connect with our friends and let's get da-da-da.
Yo.
And then from then,
I had a conversation about that the other day because I was like, yo, when Facebook first started, it was actually social.
Right.
Like, it was actually social media.
Right.
You went on there, you found people you ain't heard from in years.
Right.
You went to school with people, and then you found them on there, and now y'all engaging.
Right.
It was really social.
Absolutely.
Social media took a whole turn to separation after a few years.
So maybe initially the point was good-hearted. To connect people, but then
once capitalism get involved,
it's like this is
like
what
we could utilize this tool.
We could utilize this tool, and that's why like now more than ever, media literacy is so important to have our kids understand algorithms and understanding
literacy period.
What they're viewing and who's giving it to them. Like I was talking to Milan the other day, right? That's my niece and her granddaughter, by the way. Funny story.
We family.
Family. So I was talking to her the other day, and she says, so Sadie told her something. And so Sadie was like, something about the air is poisoning us or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I said, where'd you get the information? She said, well, Sadie said it. I said, where she got it from? She was like, I don't know, somebody from social media. I said, well, just because a person on social media said it doesn't mean it's true. She said, but that's what they were saying. I said, understand that. I said, but it's important that, you know, how you have your little iPad and all, like, go and search stuff, like research it and find out more information about it. So how I started doing that when the skies were all crazy the other day, I said, look up for me why the clouds are cloudy right now. Why does it smell like smoke outside? Right? And then she did that. She told me how many acres were burning. Because the point is like, okay, if we're going to have them on these platforms, on these devices, and let's turn those devices into critical thinking tools.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Have
Make
them
them
research.
educational.
Yeah, make them educational. If they feel like they know something, research what they know and the different perspectives of that thing and help them become media literate if they're going to be using it for so long.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's the danger of having young people on these devices and these platforms.
Right.
But if you can use it as a tool for teaching, it's a matter of how it's being utilized.
Period.
And education is the lifelong process of acquiring and sharing knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. I
Love
thought
it.
that was interesting, the ending part.
Right. Values and attitudes.
Yes, I thought that was interesting. Education is what we're doing with culture currency.
Exactly. And education is what prevents indoctrination. I wrote something, you know, I think, you know, I feel like I'm a poet. So I said education. No, I'm just kidding. nah.
So I said education.
Like, woo. No, so I play, I wish I memorized it. It would have been better. No, I'll play.
You had a rhythm?
Yeah.
There's a rhythm to it.
Nah, there's too much. See, now it's too much. It's not. I ain't gonna say it. Okay. No. So I'm saying that education is the fruit of life and is the vitamins for us to thrive. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta ask questions. We have to find answers. You know what I mean? That's what we need. That's the vitamins. That's how our brains stay alive. Because once you stop educating yourself, you are indoctrinated. When you just listen to stuff and say, "Yep, so and so said," and then you just regurgitation
culture drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's horrible on so many different levels. Like, I love a free thinker because of the fact that free thinkers question everything.
Yes.
Right? They challenge everything. And what happens when challenge happens, whether right or wrong,
Right.
More truth comes to light.
Right.
More understanding comes to light.
Right.
More information comes to the surface. And that's so necessary. My issue with today, what?
I think you're going to what I was trying to hold back from saying. Go ahead.
What happens today is that people are turned off to the idea of being challenged. People are turned off to the fact that they are indoctrinated. So they fight for their indoctrination.
For example, like what you mean when somebody be like, no, because they know what they talking about.
Never mind questioning. Never mind opening your mind.
Right.
Ask the question.
Right.
Instead of saying, that ain't what it is. But you can't even answer why you know that ain't what it is.
Right. You can't back it up.
You know what I mean?
And that's exactly what indoctrination is, right? It's just following the information that was given to you, period. And you're not considering any other perspectives because you're not educated around it. So if you're not educated, you can't back it up.
But if you're not educated in something, why you not open to hearing?
Right.
The most quiet you see me is when I don't know the subject.
Because you taking
I'm
it in,
sitting
though.
there just listening.
Yeah.
What I'm debating.
Right.
I might ask you a couple of questions,
Right,
but what I'm
right.
debating, I'm not well versed in this area.
Yeah.
Even when it's situations that I've studied, I'm very funny about having discussions about things that I can't clarify for simplicity. I'm not ready to have the discussion.
Right. Because that means you're not ready basically to teach it.
Exactly.
Right. So you don't really have a full opinion about it.
Exactly. I step back on a lot of conversations that I have a lot of information on.
Right.
But I ain't there yet.
Right. I can't battle this out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's good to be aware of that.
Macro example of indoctrination
I want to get back
is
to
the
this.
entire teaching of our indigenous history via our schools.
Oh, man. And then also the trying to erase it.
That part.
You know what I mean? So we do not have our full histories.
It's not
We had
just
a part-
not
we had
our
a
full
part of it.
histories. Is a large skewed version of our
Right.
history.
Yeah.
So even when you paid attention every day in those classes and took all the information,
Yep.
you still don't know who the hell you are.
You don't. You know, I was thinking about that driver here too, and I was like, you know, how hard they're working to erase American history, which takes out a lot of the African American story that we're really gonna really have to educate our own kids. We should have been doing that, but now more than ever, because they're trying to completely erase or act like slavery was a great thing. and a choice.
That's a larger discussion because people need to really dissect or question why they want to get rid of American history for real. Just because our ancestry comes from Africa doesn't mean that we are all from Africa. And that part of our history is super duper important. And that's the part of our history that can't come out.
Right.
Because once that part comes out, there's
Right.
ownership that has to be addressed.
That's right. That's right.
And we've already gotten to the tipping point on the discussions of what is ours and not ours.
Right.
Right.
And it cannot come out. It would destroy all structures. It's like, this is you. You killing you. You hating you.
That's why things is getting so blatant right now and it's so extreme. If you just looking through your lens, you can see there's a lot of zombies. There's many people still sleepwalking. But there's still a lot of people who are waking up.
Yep.
And once you have powerful people who are waking up, who are able to inspire that awakening in others, that becomes very, very, very fragile for the powers that be.
Yep. And then so what has to happen is I think we have to start also be aware of that and start getting creative on how we're giving out information, because how we were talking about where social media is heading. So yeah, we have the 30-second clips, but there are also, you know, opportunities for us to put longer clips. But when you put longer clips on social media, they're not promoted as much as the shorter clips. So in our discussion, we were talking about, I was like, okay, so we see what's going on here. They're trying to make sure that we have attention spans of gnats. And when you do, that also reduces your quest for knowledge and your thirst for education. You think that these quick snippets are the way. You know what I mean? So the ones that are educated or want to educate folks around certain things, so we're not just walking zombies, we're going to have to figure out how to get stuff in these 30-second clips.
When you said that, it just took me to one of the notes that I wrote down that I was planning on hitting further in the discussion was speaking about intellect. And one of the major parts of intelligence is memory, right?
Say more.
To be able to be intelligent means you can absorb, hold on to more information and process that information.
And process it, yes.
Right, so it's not just having the information and holding on to it, but the process of it.
Right.
And how much information you think you're going to be able to hold and process once your mind has been trained to only have a attention span for this much.
Exactly.
So they're purposely dumbing you down.
Right.
In the real sense of it.
That's right.
Right.
In the real sense
so
of
that all of the things that are necessary for you to be strong-minded, fight back, articulate, all of the things that help you to be self-sufficient and powerful in leadership and free.
Right.
They're taking that away from you with your permission.
Right.
And there's not enough people that are pushing against it. It's kind of like people are getting conditioned that way and just kind of going along with it.
That's right. That's right. That's very, very deep right there. And then social media is the best place to repeat information. So if you're repeating 30-second clips all the time, and then we have these people who's called influencers. Now influencers are being paid to share these messages. That's how, you know what I mean? Folks who shouldn't be in office are getting in office. That's why songs that shouldn't be popping are popping. That's how
falsehoods become truths.
That's why falsehoods become truths. Period.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know that saying, everybody can't be wrong. You hear it from massive amount of people.
Yeah.
The majority rules.
Exactly.
Is how people see things. And now that information becomes a fact, and it's not a fact.
That's right. And so that's why one of the things I put down here, I'm happy you said that, about looking at information. What we're encouraging is for everyone to compare their reporting. It's important to do it from multiple reputable outlets. You know what I'm saying? Especially those with different ownership structures. You know what I mean? Because some of our news that we're watching, and we're like, okay, well, I'm going to watch NBC and I'm going to watch CNBC, but they're owned by the same people.
It's important for you to cross-examine everything.
Right.
One of the things that I wrote down for my micro is my education and knowledge of my indigenous history, right? By cross-examining all things Black history along with what most call biblical text. because it creates that nexus that you need to be able to say, this makes sense when this comes together and this comes together. Everything starts to come together and make sense to
And
you.
you'll be like, okay, now you can back it up.
Yeah,
now you can have
you
these
could be like,
conversations.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that we're gonna have 100% knowledge, right?
Yeah.
But you can bet on a majority of the information you get, and when you are doing it from that standpoint,
right. And what I
that's
love about
important.
that is like, when you're on social media, sometimes you get on there and by mistake, you're all over the place, right? So, or you could be going down rabbit holes. If you're going to go down a rabbit hole, go down the right rabbit holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Enforce your algorithm.
That's right. Enforce
your algorithm.
Oh,
I have
I'm glad you
a
said
great
that.
great time doing that.
Yeah.
Like I told you, right now my algorithm is all Black farming.
Nice.
And I enjoy that hell
That's
out of
fire.
that.
That's fire.
Right?
Yeah.
And that has to do with what you're engaging with. Like everybody else, I'm entertained by some things that aren't the most healthy.
Yeah.
You would never see that on my page.
Right.
You're always gonna see what I align with.
Right.
However,
That's right.
I do discuss things that I find entertaining that aren't that healthy. I'm a fighter.
Right.
So,
So-
although I don't want to promote violence,
Right.
I
nah, this
engage
was
with
good.
fighting.
Yeah.
I engage with fighting
Yeah.
material. So you'll see that in my inbox. But also when I do it too much, I notice that my algorithm changes and now they start feeding me fights. And then I have to change my engagement so
Right.
now I got what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
It's appreciating the art and loving folks with skill and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So although, when it comes to, reputable media and all of that kind of stuff, like you said, a lot of folks have different owners. I mean, have the same owners, but there are different types of medias. We got commercial,
Absolutely.
we got nonprofit, and we got public media. And it may sound like a lot, but it's really not, because if you're sitting down watching the news, you have BBC. You know what I mean? Like global news. I used to watch BBC all the time. My phone, my TV was just on that when I wake up, just to understand what's happening in the world. And then you have nonprofit media like Democracy Now! And Amy Goodman. Now those kind of things. Amy Goodman, she doesn't take any government money. She don't take no corporate money or nothing.
And those are things good to know.
Exactly. So if you're trying to compare what you're seeing, say if you watch Fox, you should also watch somebody like Amy Goodman. You should also watch BBC just to get the full picture. So then you can also, now you can develop your own opinion. Like, oh, this person said this. This person, oh, you know what? Actually, and then you could develop your own opinion and give it back like that.
I 100% agree with that.
Oh, I
Especially
know
with
what
BBC.
Right.
Because it's important for you to get your news
Yes.
that's not just
Local.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then NPR and PBS. I just wanted to throw those two out there.
Yes.
Another thing, when you're absorbing information and you're trying to, like decipher, am I educating myself or am I just getting indoctrinated? The thing about indoctrination is that it empowers division and intolerance.
I wrote that down.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the purpose of it. You know what I mean? To keep us, because I'm trying to, let me see if I can make this connection, because while you were talking, my head was going these different places. I was just thinking about the 30-second clip thing, and then the propaganda through that, and then how whoever needs to spread a message can do it easily through social media for division and intolerance, and then we believe these things. It's basically a wrap of everything we just said.
Yeah, I have
anyway.
wrote War Against Free Thinking.
Yes. Oh my.
And labeled crazy the moment you start thinking freely.
Right.
As soon as you don't agree with everybody else, you're crazy.
Yup.
We've watched that on a larger scale with some celebrities who pushed against agendas. I'm not going to use names.
But y'all not crazy.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I said, and it creates another area for division. That divide and conquer thing we speak about, right? Lack of communication and understanding separates.
Right, that's right. Because you've been indoctrinated, so all you're saying is this is like, no, this is not fair. These people have these rights. Let me shut up.
Also, the person who's studying beyond what they were told becomes a pariah and labeled a know-it-all, regardless of their trying to share the information, right? Soon as you start trying to share the information, you either a conspiracy theorist, you crazy, or you just not fun to be around no more because you don't want to go along with what everybody else is going along with.
Right, and you think you know everything.
Yeah.
Right, damn. Yeah. So even with the education thing and for us to be critical thinkers and free thinkers, I think so in some areas we took that too far and we're questioning so many things. Like now it's to the point where we're questioning actual facts. You know what I mean? Like this is certain things are actual fact. You cannot dispute science. You can't dispute biology and different things like that. But because we're really, that a lot of things is about indoctrination, but a lot of stuff is also about free thinking. And I think some of the free thinking has gone too far and has gone off the rails a bit, where people have become a bit delusional about what's real and what's not.
We have to be careful with the free thinking versus the delusion. Someone who knows that something is a fact but still won't fold because they just want to be right, that's illness. That's
Right.
not, you know what I mean? That's a whole different ball game.
It's like you just fighting to be fighting.
That's a whole different ball game. And that's what I meant earlier when I said, some people fight for their indoctrination. Sometimes when you're trying to teach someone something, they receive it as they're wrong.
Yep. As opposed to uninformed.
Versus, they're fighting to hold on to the belief system that they've held for so long.
Right.
Versus understanding that all your belief systems should be able to be challenged.
That's right.
And if it's challenged and it stands the test of time, then you hold on to it.
Right.
If it's challenged and it doesn't stand the test of time, you make the transition.
And if you can't,
shift.
You have been indoctrinated.
There you go.
Right? And then you're not considering any other perspectives. You're just stuck where you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are so many different types of information. It's not one type of information that gives you the
full gamut.
You need multiple types of information to get there.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that either. Like book smarts without street smarts, you lack.
Right.
Street smarts without book smarts, you lack.
Right.
Book smarts, street smarts, but you lack experience. You still lack, right? So there's many different things that come together to create the truth about something.
Right.
And we got to keep that in mind as well.
Right. Right.
So now that we've discussed in depth indoctrination and education, do you want to share a personal experience from that lens?
Just a little silly one, just being silly.
Go ahead.
Tricks are for kids.
Go ahead.
When I was little, I felt like I had to have tricks because they was for kids. And I'm a kid.
That's a good one though. That's not silly.
Yeah, no, I'm saying because I know I could go deeper.
No, but that's not
that's
silly
the one that really came to my head because I wanted tricks and we didn't have tricks. I'm like, oh, come on, my tricks are for kids.
Not knowing that it's not good for you.
It's not good for you. It's sugar cereal. It's like, damn, Mom, like I can't have tricks. And I felt like, damn, like, why we can't have this kind of stuff?
That is absolutely how indoctrination shows up, right? Where people feel like they have to go along with what the masses is doing in order to be accepted. Just like the opposite. I said you become a pariah when you start questioning too much.
Right.
The opposite of that is you start going along to go along.
Right.
And as a child, you don't know no better. You just think that this is what it is.
Right. All these gifts on Christmas, dinner on Valentine's Day, all that is the indoctrination stuff. We're not even celebrating these holidays for what they're for anymore.
When I was younger, I used to get attitude about that because I didn't come up with that stuff.
Yeah.
My teen years, when I started seeing who I was in response to how I was raised versus the people around me, I was so thankful because I noticed that the people, they were selfish as hell. They were selfish as hell. They thought the world owed them something. I didn't have that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because of the fact that my mother and father didn't engage in those things.
Right.
So if somebody did something for me, it was always super appreciated.
Oh, I love that.
Because I didn't think that
it wasn't like
had
this
to
is
do
it.
it.
Right.
I never thought anyone had to do anything.
Right. I love that. That's really good. That's really good. Because it does breed entitlement.
Yeah, it does.
But that's also indoctrination, all of those kind of things right there. Because we start losing the value and the importance of things through indoctrination because you're not educated. You're just indoctrinated and following status quo.
So pretty much being indoctrinated means that you're a follower. And being educated means that you have the potential to be leadership.
That's right. And critical evaluation is important, y'all. Got to remember that.
Yep. I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ish.
And this is Culture Currency.
Where culture
is the value.
Make sure to like, share,
subscribe, and comment. Make sure y'all check out our audio pod as well.
And YouTube. And the YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Y'all saying we saw the clip. You saw a clip. Watch the show on YouTube.